If you are a wellness center owner looking to scale, get more customers, or not get left behind in 2025, then this video is for you. Now before we start, please watch this entire video to gain more clarity on what can be implemented into your business to ensure time is not wasted on your call and to ensure a productive conversation with our growth consultant. Now, what is this end-to-end playbook to join the top 1% of clinics and wellness centers? Well, simply put, is that wellness centers are facing a critical turning point right now where AI and content are transforming the industry. But still, 90% are implementing it wrong, burning money, and also losing patients in the process. You've seen it yourself. The endless tech promises, the revolutionary systems that were supposed to bring in patients, but rather ended up being nothing but expensive experiments that, meanwhile, your competitors are still somehow scaling past beyond 7 figures while you're actually stuck just trying to figure out what works. Right now, specialized wellness centers are losing thousands in revenue due to ineffective client acquisition. But what's interesting is it's not your fault. Despite every single minute for a clinic having the potential to generate tens of dollars, which is why we care about efficiency here, what I've seen happen to countless practices just like yours, where despite working harder than ever, their consultation rooms still aren't full or fail to make use of their full potential. And why? Why is this still happening? Well, simply, that's why we decided to create something entirely different, where most people mistakenly believe that the key to success is simply to create more content and running marketing campaigns over and over again to gain presence. But this approach is already flawed. Plus, it's holding them back. What we aim to do is to kind of shift the focus from just a system to a complete infrastructure where we've developed an AI-powered infrastructure that goes beyond helping you stand out from all of your competitors, but it is designed to lay the foundation of how to approach the competitive mass media market, engage prospects and turn them into qualified leads, reach out to them immediately when their interest is at its peak, convert those leads into ideal patients, all while significantly reducing your patient acquisition costs. Now, what is the value, or how much is the value of one client for you? And despite you having information online about your services, but what specifically makes you stand out? Well, let me show you this article, which is how AI is transforming the creator economy. And bear with me for this for a little, but what I want to tell you is that right now, tech companies have already incentivized the entire world to create content, to attract more users, and increase the time spent on their platforms. Plus, they've been simply successful by the fact that the largest companies in the world are all tech companies. Now, a new category of marketers has evolved, the categories that experience the greatest returns, which in a sense they are almost like tech companies in the idea that they don't have to spend money to acquire the next users and leads to provide them with value. But now what we have are creators, more specifically content creators. But why do I talk about this when we are talking about nurturing our leads plus cutting down our sales cycle? Well, to give you an overall breakdown of what this exactly entails now for the future, is simply that the old framework of nurturing clients was evolved from tactics of hungry marketers and salespeople who simply just want to get any and every prospect to buy as soon as possible, where in that sense their entire thought process comes from the angle of scarcity, which shows up in the way that they nurture their leads. Now, listen to this. What they do is, when a lead opts in, they let that lead know that everything is scarce and the value would not be available anymore if they don't consume it right away. Plus, on the appointment, they force the lead or that specific person, which is supposed to be your client, into the mindset that their life would end if they simply can't buy into the offer right away. Plus, they collect every single last dollar from the lead or try to get the lead to get financing. But what ends up happening is that because of the sales cycle, because of this scarcity sales cycle that most business, I'd say 99% of businesses implement nowadays, you're cutting that relationship into being of a necessity rather than a want to trust you, a want to actually connect with you, a want to actually believe in you guys, but rather we shorten their lifetime in your business. Now, why do I say this? Well, what if instead of coming from that mindset of being scarce, what if you can implement that sense of abundance instead, where, as all of the content creators that I'm sure you love, watch, continue to get value from just from watching their videos, what if we could implement a system where we just keep on providing value for your clients, free value, so they can get your trust, they can like you, and by the time that they're actually inside your door, more than willing to pay you the exact amount or even more just because of the value that they've already gotten from you even before stepping in. How is this possible? Well, if you remember what I said in the beginning, content, specifically here, content. But as you all may know, content is very hard to do. It requires a specific type of gift. It requires a specific amount of work that needs to be put in to be able to actually provide good quality content that engages your prospect at a level which is continuous. But that's why the other part of the picture comes in. What if we tie in both content and AI to be able to maximize your capacity without having to spend more on talent and still be able to 10 times be able to increase all of the value, all of the information that you are giving your clients, your people, the people who have gracefully landed on you to be able to get value. Now, this is the system that we have been implementing for our clients, where first solves the problem of finding what's actually viral, what's actually trending, what people actually care about enough to watch them consistently, then solve the problem of being able to replicate that value based on your clinic's information and what's actually going viral, to be able to reproduce content that is actually insightful, which we leverage your case studies, your frameworks, essentially your own content, without having to even think about it. Then, the best part is, what about the output? What if you don't even have to record videos? I'm not sure if you've seen this before, but right now, there are AI avatars.
I think that this specific tool is going to impact the world of creativity in a few very...
See that? AI avatar. One more thing.
Now, on the other side of the park, you also have Disney's California Adventure. DCA is one of my favorite places to hang out and just get a Starbucks and walk around. So that looks pretty good. I think that the nonverbal communication...
You see the difference? Same guy, just wants an AI. Now, what does this actually mean when we tie everything together? What I'll tell you is that from the point of actually finding the viral content, which we can do manually, but takes a lot of time, which takes a team of dedicated, trained people who actually have to do all of the research, which takes days, a pretty hefty fee, considering if you have to script write, have to do everything, having to think of different angles, and then having to actually make sure that the content you're producing is good quality. What if I told you that this entire process from finding what's working, creating value based on your company, and getting the outputs? What if this entire process for you only took 10 minutes, or simply filling out a quick form, or just feeding it more of your company information? What if you didn't have to record, put on makeup, make sure that the set is correct, make sure that the camera is correct, spend more on equipment? What if you could just record yourself one time where you just train the AI on exactly the scenes that you want to have it do, the frameworks where you want it to create for, and finding what people would actually want to watch? What if you had one AI agent that takes this entire burden for you, and what happens? You get more time. With more time, how much more can you do this? How much more content would you be able to do with this freedom, with this volume, and with this strategy? There's so much ways to be able to leverage a system like this. But what I want to tell you next is, despite getting all of these views, despite getting everything, providing as much value, no secrets attached, just being able to get as much content out there, what's the next bottleneck? Well, simply, with all of the views that you'd be getting from this, from being able to produce content at scale without you having to worry about it, have to manage a team for it, or even have to keep at the back of your mind. What you need to do is then focus on converting these eyes into what? Paying customers. Now, how do you convert all of these attention into paying customers? Either, one, you can hire a person to do this, or what we prefer to implement is we implement AI chatbots, AI callers. What then happens when someone actually opts into your ecosystem, which they are now officially a contact? What if you implement a chatbot to actually be able to engage them, to be able to nurture them, to be able to see that, hey, they didn't consume the content, and re-engage them with personalized information, and if they are qualified, book an appointment. A system that runs on autopilot 24/7 without you having to think about paying multiple staff members or be worried about English levels not exactly up to standards. What I can do, where no matter where the lead opts in, it can guide them throughout the entire client journey, from first learning about your business, learning about what you guys actually are doing, and then have them appointment set, create a contact based on what you have on them, remember everything, get more data based on who is actually checking you out, get the data on who is actually qualified, get those contacts, store them, get them retargeted, and the system runs on autopilot. Plus, it doesn't stop there. You'll never have to train them. You'll never have to manage them. You just have to build them once, and they will be your employee who will never ask for a break, who will never ask for extra pay, who you will never have to manage, that runs at 100% the entire 24 hours, constantly working on nurturing, on contacting all of your clients. It's the front end. And what does this AI do best in? Well, its strength lies in appointment setting, where be able to check your calendar in real time, and based on what's available, book appointments right into it, and send all of the details to make sure that they actually understand through phone calls. Plus, doesn't stop at just appointment booking, because the next problem would be actually to make sure that they show up to your clinic. This is why appointment reminders is very important. Phone calls saying, hey, you have an appointment scheduled at this day. Does this still make sense for you? Do you have all of the necessary things that you need to know before you actually show up? And during that process, if there is anything on their mind, maybe if they have an allergy, maybe there is this pre-qualification that you actually need to make sure that your team or they have to know in advance, then you can address it. You can have this exact voice, this exact clone to be talking to your prospects in real time. Then inform your internal team about the summary of what they talked about. Now, don't think that we are removing the human aspect. Do not think that we are using this system to be able to replace humans. That is a very common mistake that a lot of people think when going into this. But what I want you to remember and always frame this as, what this technology allows you to do is to be able to spend a third of what you are spending on a full marketing team while producing 10 times the output. Remember, this is a tool. This isn't meant to take over the world. This is supposed to make you and your team be more productive and actually work on what matters the most, which is what? Providing value to your clients. How do you do that? Through your actual service, which in that sense is not you spending the entire day on answering FAQs that essentially is just basic information that you repeat every day. That doesn't mean that you are wasting your time finding exactly what is going viral, one by one, watching all of the videos, getting the scripts, combining everything, and then repurposing it based on what you know about your company. The value lies in how you can leverage this to be able to give you guys back the most important thing that we have, which is time, which is more leverage, which is more freedom to actually work on what matters. Despite the AI being able to handle all of this, what you have to remember is that this can make that human touch so much more valuable. This can set you up so that your team is not held back on doing the tedious tasks nobody on your team wants to do because it is repetitive, because there is no sense for a person to have to call up 10 people a day just saying, hey, your appointment is at this time. What's the sense? What is the sense of having to do that manually? What is the sense of wasting energy when your team should be focusing on giving them that physical care that they are expecting from you? This is what a system like this is how you leverage AI and content to transform you guys to be able to work 10 times more. Because at the end of the day, why can't your clinic be the one who helps them to get from their current situation to their desired situation, or having to spend countless thousands on staff members for every little thing? What we should remember is that this automates. The power of AI is that it automates the tedious tasks that nobody wants to do and be able to produce that at such speed without you having to worry about it. The AI, in which is limitless, where as soon as someone opts in to one of your ads, the AI calls them. The AI nurtures them. It's available 24/7, even when everyone is sleeping and watching movies with their family. I don't know of any person who would rather pick up a phone call than watch their movie, than spend time on the people who matter most. And this doesn't just go for you. This goes for your workers. And the best part of it is that it does not get lazy. It will always follow up with your clients. It will do daily, weekly calls, SMS, to make sure that if a prospect shows interest to book an appointment, they don't forget about you. They just don't move on to the next person simply because they weren't able to get the answers, the results, the care that they were looking for just because you guys couldn't pick up a phone call, just because of the wait time. It's instant. It's quick. Now, I say a lot of things, but despite AI still being at its beginning stages, 2025 is the year we're going to be seeing tremendous scaling in terms of AI. But will you be one of the ones who will actually implement this for your business, or get left behind with all of the people who have been already implementing these systems from 6 months ago? This is one of the results we've gotten for A Group Capital, where simply after just spending $1,500 a month on ad spend, have been able to get 4 successful sales, generating profits of $37,000 with just filling their calendars and not having to do anything. What you get is an AI-driven acquisition system, the full content engine tailored specifically to your clinical niche, editing with proven templates and frameworks that countless other practices have already been leveraging, automated follow-up sequences that qualifies and converts, real-time performance tracking to make sure that everything is reaching its KPIs, its quotas, and the full implementation plus management support from our team. We will handle the entire setup, the entire build-out implementation for you, so that there's no need to waste your time learning complex systems or experimenting with unproven strategies. But the best part is you don't even have to worry. You wouldn't even have to feel stuck with us forever, use and maintain this infrastructure, as our role is to implement it for you and empower you to take full ownership of this entire system so that you will have the flexibility to manage it independently as it becomes a full valuable asset for your business. Or you can have the option for us to continue supporting you by ensuring the infrastructure stays at the forefront with all of the insights, with all of the data of the best practices and ongoing maintenance. Everything is already ready for you, proven to work, and designed to let you focus on your expertise. While your consultation, your appointment calendar gets filled up with qualified patients who are already prepared, who already know you, and who already like, trust, and love you. Is it fair that using all of these insights and this AI trend, would it be fair to say that this would give you a substantial and undeniable advantage over your competition? Do you see how AI can be implemented into your business to acquire clients without needing much of your involvement? Do you now understand the potential of this AI wave and the reason why all of the smart money, Mark Zuckerberg, all of the biggest companies in the world are spending trillions of dollars implementing these systems? This leaves you with two options, where you can join the 13.5%, yes, that is right, we are at that number right now, of early adopters and zoom past your competition whilst capturing more of your market? Or would you rather wait until you are forced to adopt it, struggling to catch up and stay afloat? This is where you can book your strategy call with our team to see if this system would make sense to be implemented into your business, or we will just tell you 100% upfront. Now, this would be you book our strategy call, where if we can't show you how this system will generate at least 27 qualified appointments in your first 60 days, where we see if the system would make sense to be. Now, this is where we would book your strategy call. If we see that this system would make sense to be implemented into your business, if we see how we can generate you, I promise you, 27 qualified appointments in your business in the first 60 days. If we cannot do that, we will tell you up front before you spend a dime. As while all of these outbound strategies are crucial, you do not have to be doing it. The infrastructure handles everything rightly, from generating content to building your online presence to attracting leads to nurturing them with hyper-personalized communication, tracking every interaction, and optimizing processes in real time. Based on all of these, would you not be confident? Now, booking with us only has limited slots. We are providing you with the most competitively unfair advantage, and simply, we don't work with countless clinics. We only prioritize clinics who can see the best success and results. Thus, we want qualified clients as well who align with our strategy for efficiency and growth to be able to scale their clinic and simply not waste any more time for people who are not ready to invest into their business and this opportunity. Click the button below to book your strategy call, and we will show you exactly how this system can work in your business. Gain the thousands of dollars of new revenue this month and save hundreds of thousands of costs to new heights you've never seen before, right before even your competitors know what we're talking about. So if you're ready, let's get this show on the road, guys.